News Central now this hour begins in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, on Thursday honored the summons by the police over allegations of treason and terrorism financing. Ahead of today's visit to the police headquarters in Abuja, the NLC Central Working Committee on Wednesday issued a circular mobilizing the union members and affiliate associations for the march on the police head offices across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The police had, in an invitation last week, asked Ajaero to appear at the force headquarters to answer questions on his alleged involvement in terrorism financing, cybercrime, subversion, criminal conspiracy, and treasonable felony. The NLC-NEC resolved that the police invitation to Ajaero was too short and resolved to ask for a postponement of his appearance. Lawyer to the NLC, Femi Falana, had written to the police asking that the meeting be shifted to August 29 as Ajaero was not available for August 20th. Now to discuss this, we're joined by Taiwo Osanyin, policy implementation consultant. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for joining us.
Thank you so much for always having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure as well. Now, Taiwo, the Nigerian police are accusing the NLC president of criminal conspiracy, of terrorism financing, treasonable felony, of subversion as well, and cybercrime. Now, these are weighty allegations. What is your take on it?
Very weighty allegations, very weighty. And it's unfortunate that Nigeria today has turned into a country where such allegations are just taken with triviality. And what do I mean by this? Terrorism today is one of the first 3 top crimes in international politics that is never actually taken into with a slim hand. Having said that, it's actually very sad that we conceptualize almost everything as an act of terrorism in Nigeria. Well, the Nigerian police have summoned the NLC president, and we all hope and feel that they have their own reasons or they have done their own underground check and on their own underground investigation to allege him with these very weighty allegations. Having said that, it's going to be very unreasonable if it is found out that these allegations are actually just watery allegations without any necessary evidences. On the flip side, we'll look at it from the area of the fact that I think 3 years ago, there was a list of reported terrorist financiers that was actually sent to the DSS. And Nigerians were happy to receive this news that we all know the people behind the current insecurity issue in the country. Unfortunately, today, that list today is yet to be published. And then it now shows that something is actually wrong somewhere. However, if Ajaero is actually not actually found guilty, then we're going to plunge ourselves into a lot of economic problem, which already exists in the country today. Imagine the current inflation at 33% on paper, which is certainly more, over 300, 400% on food items. And then imagine if this is this comes with a strike action by the NLC and other labor unions, then the problem is going to be more in person, and citizens will face the hardship in a very large scale. Having said that, on the flip side of the government and the police, if all allegations are found very true, and they have their evidences to prove beyond reasonable doubt, as lawyers will say, then Ajaero should come out and answer to the books and answer to the questions if found guilty. But if not found guilty, then it's going to be seen from a place of victimization and a place of silencing and making the labor quiet.
So they demanded as well that the Nigerian police must produce a list of terrorists that are affiliated with its president. But for you, with the way the police went about conducting the operations before the allegation, is this the right way of investigating a matter?
Unfortunately, it is not the right way. Things could have been done much better. This incident happened, if my memory serves me right, August. The raid happened on August, if I'm not wrong, either August 9th or 10th, when the Nigerian police or the State Security Service, the Department of State Security Service went to the NLC headquarters and ransacked a particular um, building, I think the third story building, where it was alleged that um, an international person was actually using that office. And then they confiscated a lot of items and left the office of the man in shambles and leaving him to, we don't know where his whereabouts is. He was alleged to be under security watch. And lo and behold, about 14 days after, the Nigerian police is saying that the NLC president is to be alleged for terrorism and financing and conspiracy, and those allegations are very weighty. So it's quite very critical that at this point in time, where the world is evolving to necessary IT skills in investigation, we are still doing the hide and seek approach of pursuing and catching criminals, which is not supposed to be done. And at the long run, that is why most of the agencies today are looked at from a point of view of joke and comedy, where nobody even listens to them and nobody even takes them seriously, because it's and most of the time, by the time the case gets to the court, it's quashed and nothing happens. And because why? There have not been proper investigation to actually pin down culprits and criminals that are even the real financiers or the real criminals in any crime that is being alleged. Unfortunately, we have innocent people being picked up, taken to court, and then sometimes even being in jail for a long period of time, which shows that there's still a large gap at which the police actually conduct its investigation processes. Can this be better? Obviously, yes, it can be. What do the police need to do? Segmentizing this investigation processes in a way, a manner that attracts very meaningful approaches and very direct approaches, from community investigation to putting in necessary technological apparatus around it. And then for a long period of time, just work on the process and work on. Well,
All right,
I would say that the Nigerian police is actually trying.
Yes.
You cannot take that away from them. They are really trying. We have had cases in the past of the likes of the kidnap kingpin in Lagos, and someone again was recently caught. They are really trying on their own end. But by the time these investigations begin to dive into some political undertone or some political bits, it then gives a bit of bias to say that the police is now becoming partisan in Nigerian politics rather than in the work of security.
All right, Taiwo Osanyin, thank you so much. Please stay with us. We want to cross over now to Emmanuel Bagudu, who is currently in Abuja, to give us more updates, and then we will continue the conversation. Emmanuel, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon from the Labour House, Abuja. Thank you.
All right, you are currently at the FCT. Where is your exact location and what's going on there? All right, while we're waiting for Emmanuel Bagudu, Taiwo Osanyin, apologies for that. We're looking to get more information from Emmanuel at the FCT. But still speaking of this recent development, now the NLC leadership said that any attempt to detain its president beyond a certain time today would lead to the union shutting down in Nigeria. Are you in support of that?
Well, it is a power play politics. And the way the police is playing its power or is acting on this of its power, the NLC too will use its own power. So it's a power play politics, and if it is not properly handled, it might go beyond what we think or what we imagine to think that this would be. I'm scared. I'm afraid that this should not go through this route. That is why the NLC have requested that. Okay, if you are alleging our president that he is a terrorist financier, who are the people, or who are the names, or give us names of people that are also in that list. And then if police cannot provide that, then it shows that there's something wrong somewhere. And that is the honest truth. And then that is what I still said in my opening remark, that it's not going to be ideal for the current state of the economy today for us to have any issue regarding labor strike or labor union actions, which may not go well in the economy of the country.
Okay.
And is it a right action? Well, maybe many people might not buy the bias of it, considering the fact that, one man's action or inaction should not cause the economy of the country to plunge into a state of zero. But the truth is, the labor is a force that controls the economy of the country today. And if this issue is badly managed or mismanaged, we might see an action that goes beyond what the federal government or even the police have probably envisaged.
All right, Taiwo, thank you. Once again, please hold on. I think we have Emmanuel back with us. Emmanuel, good afternoon. You are currently at the FCT. If you can hear me, please give us an update on your exact location and what's happening there right now.
Right now, I'm standing right at the center of the Labour House in the Federal Capital Territory. Of course, unlike early in the morning when you saw a crowd of comrades, shouting in solidarity in the morning, right now the place is so scanty, and today's activity is all over. It's over because, of course, the national president of the NLC is back from the intelligence response team office here in Guzapi, Asokoro. Where he was questioned. He gave an update as to what he was asked by the police. And since that time, of course, everyone is dispersed and everyone has gone back to their various places of work, and the organized labor will communicate to its members on the latest development. And what happened at the IRT was that Mr. Ajaero said he was only asked just a few questions, amongst which includes the profile of the persons occupying this building, that's the Labour House, which the police actually, came in and stormed in and did some operations. So of course he gave them a proper profile, proper knowledge of who he knows are residing in the Labour House. Those are just the few questions he said he was asked. Yeah.
All right, Emmanuel Bagudu, thank you so much for giving us the update from the FCT. Definitely we'll be looking to see how that plays out. Taiwo Osanyin, thank you for still being with us. And I think that I'm going to go further by asking, how do you expect the police to approach and handle this matter? We've established that that was probably not the right course of action. But now that the NLC president has made himself available for interrogation or questioning, most especially so that it doesn't spiral into something that might eventually hurt the economy of the country further than it has already done?
I must first of all acknowledge the fact that Joe Ajaero has proven to be a citizen of the Federal Republic without any criminal admission, even though he has allegations leveled against him. He has shown himself to answer questions in line with what the police allegations are. Having said that, we must also understand the fact that there is a tense situation in the political system today. There is hunger in the land, there is insecurity, the economy is dwindling, and the government is trying to put its ass together to ensure that things are put in place in proper order so that to ameliorate the problems and the sufferings of the citizens of the country. However, it's going to be very dangerous to actually allow some elements of government to actually, who are supposed to be pro-government, to actually carry out actions that may determine and may draw us back in the action process of development by the government. However, in addition to that, we must also not forget, which is very critical, that whatever pendulum or whatever the pendulum swings in, which I want to believe that Joe Ajaero is probably innocent, even though if the court finds him otherwise. But if every investigation process has gone through the necessary phases, we won't be having this kind of situation today, where the NLC president was asked to come in on the 21st of this month for questioning. And then, right now, your reporter just said that he has gone to the police headquarters, he has gone to answer questions, and I think he is back. But okay. I don't know if he made mention of that. But if he's back, then we'll look forward to the further actions by the police. I also look for the further actions from the NLC.
Most definitely. We'll be looking to see how that turns out. Taiwo Osanyin, thank you so much. Apologies, but that's the much we can take on this conversation. Policy implementation consultant, thank you once again for joining us.
The current